Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be starting on our new drawer system 2.0. This system will come equipped with 3 drawers as well as a pull-out refrigerator. Plenty of room for storage, plenty of room for kitchen utensils, some recovery gear. My current drawer system is awfully heavy, and I just want something that's easier for me to take in and out of my car, since this is my daily driver as well, and I often need to haul things in the back of the 4Runner.
This project actually started about a month ago. I sat down on the computer, figured out generally what I wanted to do, and then drafted up very specific plans. Since this is made out of 80/20 aluminum, everything can come pre-ordered, cut to length, tapped where needed, so that when it arrives, everything is ready to assemble. As you can see, the left side will have a pull-out fridge, the right side contains a 3-drawer system, and then underneath the entire cabinet is a pull-out table. These plans are pretty detailed with all the measurements, all the different components to put everything together. So hopefully once everything arrives, I'll have everything I need to complete the project. Once I feel confident that my plans are ready, I head over to tnuts.com. This is where you can purchase everything aluminum that you need for this project. It's pretty specific. You can get in there and order it cut down to the fractional length. So you just go select your size, select your fractional length, if you want it tapped or untapped, and then you can get all the different hardware you need to assemble the aluminum as well. After about a week, the order from T-Nuts has arrived. I'm going to be heading to my parents' house, working in my dad's shop, and we're going to start on the assembly of the drawer system.
All right, well, this is not our first drawer system that we're assembling today. I actually have a drawer system in the back of the 4Runner that me and my father built about 3 years ago when I got the 4Runner. At the time, it worked out great. We deleted the floor, put in a new floor that we could actually anchor the kitchen down to, and we went ahead and built 2 different separate boxes. Let me go ahead and show you. As you can see, each box has a drawer system attached to it. This side has 2 drawers. I keep all my recovery gear in. This is the kitchen over here. It has 1 drawer and a stove that pulls out. So as you can see, just your standard wooden drawer. On this side though, you have to pull the top out, and what you get there is pots and pan storage, things for washing dishes, anything utensil wise that you need for cooking. Fun part about this flips up and out pulls a stove. Now this is a rather large stove, much larger than I need. I had the stove at the time, so I built kind of the box system around fitting the stove inside of it. It's worked great. It just takes up a lot of room, and like the rest of the drawer system, it's just kind of over-engineered. It's very heavy, takes all I have just to get one of these boxes put into the 4Runner. I have heavy duty springs on the back of this 4Runner, and when I put both these boxes in, it settles down really nicely. It actually creates a nice smooth ride, but I feel I'll get that with the new drawer system and the refrigerator once I place that in there. Disadvantages of this: there is no room for a refrigerator or a cooler, so that actually goes up on top, which minimizes my space for additional gear. The new drawer system will have 3 drawers on one side and refrigerator pull-out on the other. That'll be a huge advantage, and then I'll still have that entire top for additional storage. This one has served me well. It's been on quite a few trips. It's done a great job, but time for an update. All right, let's meet the team that's helping today.
Hello there.
This is the legend Tom. This is my dad, and then we have here my son Kelly. He's good with his hands and his mind, so he's going to be helping put together the aluminum frame today. All right, we're going to get to work. Stay tuned. So today we're going to start in on the drawers. And we're using 4x8 sheet of birch plywood, 1/2 inch, and I figured out how to get all 3 drawers on that piece of birch plywood. So I have it divided here, the bottoms, the front faces, the sides.
The main thing is I want to make the first cut right there. We have no waist at all.
Right down the middle here.
Right down the middle there. And then we'll separate it here. You ready?
Ready?
You go on that side, I'll just push it.
Alright, so you can see we have all 3 drawers fully assembled. They've had time to dry, and now we're going to just do a little bit of a light sanding and prepping them for some varnish, maybe 2 to 3 coats of varnish. We didn't do the front faces of these. Those are probably going to get painted black separately, so we'll be taking care of those tomorrow once we're starting to fully assemble the rest of the box. Alright, so let's get to it. Alright, so we're getting going today. Yesterday we worked on the drawers, took those home last night and applied a little bit of Danish oil to them to seal them off nicely. We're going to set these aside for now, and today we're going to be building the actual frame. Now we're going to apply the top, which is a nice cut piece of aluminum that matches the width of the table, and we're going to adhere that down with double stick extreme Scotch mount tape. Alright, I'm going to show you a little bit more detail on how I actually built this. This is a 1x2 extrusion 80/20 aluminum, and the reason we needed to go to the 2-inch height is because to make room for the slides and for the drawer to move freely from the drawer system that's going to be mounted above this. So we used 1x2-inch extrusions. That gives us the space that we need, and you can see the slides fit in there perfectly. But doing so, there was no place to mount within the channels the actual slide, so we had to drill these holes and use those holes to mount our slides, which in the end then provides a nice stable surface for the table. Basically just a 1/4-20 bolt. I believe they're 1 3/4 inches, and just a simple lock washer and nut. Alright, so as you can see, we have the entire table completely finished. This is actually going to mount underneath the main drawer system. So let's go ahead and kind of show you how this works. I have it clamped on the other side so it doesn't tip over, but this will all be anchored down inside the truck. So as you can see, I'm going to have a nice work area, plenty of room to pull out the fridge while this is pulled out, but also then to keep the stove out. So I'm repurposing the slides from my previous drawer system, so we had to go through all the different slides and make sure everything was smooth and working properly. And as you can see, these slides are still in great shape. I think they can hold up to 200 pounds. I don't know, I'm never going to try that out. I won't be sitting on this or anything.
I'm just going to share with you what we are working on at the moment. We're actually making the top and the bottom of the frame for the drawer and the fridge pull-out section of this build. The way that this is put together is the four corners are tapped, both top and bottom, and they're connected with these corner connectors. Now, the issue I had was when I went to order these, T-Nuts was out of stock on the actually squared versions of these. So these are the rounded off ones, as you can see. I have these, and I'm going to use these temporarily until the back order comes, and I'll swap them out with the proper square ones. But these will work for now. So those are the corners, but then all the other rails that are going on in the centers will be attached with these L brackets. So with those L brackets, you have to make sure that you're installing these T-nuts before you get into assembly. Otherwise, you're going to have to pull stuff apart to slide those back into the rails.
So for the refrigerator mount, we actually have this nice slide. So underneath that, we created cross rails and we've slid in the T-nuts where we need. We drilled the appropriate holes in the back of here to line up, so when we put this down, we can just bolt it down. We're going to use 3 bolts in the front, 4 in the back, and that should do it. Alright, so now we're going to start installing the rails to mount the drawer system to. But in order to close up this gap, we're going to get some 1/4 inch plywood, and we're going to cut this to fit perfectly in between these slots. They just run right down those channels. And then we're going to install the part that we'll be installing our slides onto. And then as you can see, we'll just mount our slides right onto here, just like so. Alright, so we have successfully installed all the drawers onto the slides. They are working great. So now we're going to put the face plates on. So we got to cut notches into the face plates to make room for the levers on the slides. Then we should have a nice, smooth front finish, keeping the dust out, keeping dirt out. So we cut a 1/2 inch piece of plywood to match the top of the aluminum frame. Went ahead and routed the edges, and now we're going to finish it off with some Rust-Oleum truck bed liner. So we're going to install this top on a 1/2 inch plywood that we cut yesterday and painted. We're going to pre-drill holes all the way around here, and then use a flush mounted bolt and anchor to the T-nut on the inside. Alright, as you can see, the entire box is done. So now what we've done is we've set the box on top of the table. Then we're going to be attaching the table to the box with these 2-hole brackets. Not bad. Alright, well this project is complete. It took a little bit longer than we thought. It took about 3 weekends to complete. I'm just going to give you a quick walkthrough. Starting from left to right. we have our fridge. This fits in here perfectly. It pulls out just far enough that it clears the surface. I can look inside, I can still see everything. I don't need to get up on a ladder or anything to get inside my fridge. From there I have the 3-drawer system, recovery gear, any kind of miscellaneous camping equipment, and then anything I need for cooking, cleaning. The thing I like most about this entire thing is that I left the birch exposed on the front of the drawer system. I think just that natural grain coming through after putting some Danish oil on it really just finishes off the entire look. Final feature on this whole system, substantial amount of work area for cooking, cleaning, reading a map, anything you can think of. Nice and sturdy. This is going to come in very handy. So that completes this project. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, see you again.